Boys, another horrendous day, and Dizzy's smiling, so I'm going to go to you first, Diz.
Well, it's as I said, you know what it is? I'm not even like, like last year when we used to do the passionate rants for like half an hour, this is the problem, this needs to be fixed. I'm sad now, to be honest. It's not about being super emotional. I know I saw this coming. You asked, I think it was 3 games ago, is the season over? And I was like, yeah, it looks like it. But not because I'm being overreactionary, but because I can't see any progression. The reason why I had so much faith in Ten Hag at the start was because, one, he brought accountability. The players that were getting a start week in, week out, but pulling in stinkers were getting benched, and we were like, oh, wait, there's actually some change. We thought that we would have more control of the ball, we would have a more defined, more dominant style of play where we can actually play our way and impose our will on games. And we don't do that. We don't have a midfield that works to this day. And we're getting run over by anybody and everybody that's willing to actually give it a try, to be honest. And we got Bayern next. So that should be fun.
Yeah, it could get a whole lot worse before it gets better. And KJ, with Munich, the next game, it feels likely that Man United now will go 3 games on the bounce losing. We could end up conceding anywhere, between 7, 8, 9, 10 goals in 3 games, if not more. It's precarious right now.
I don't care, man. I don't care what happens now. Play against Bayern, lose by 10. It's no different to losing by 1 at this point. I don't know where we go from here. Honestly, I don't know where we go from here. I had hope with Ten Hag. I had hope things would change. He was trying to bring back orders, trying to bring back discipline, trying to bring back standards to the football club. And again, another manager, another one will bite the dust. Another set of players getting called not good enough. Another set of players not being mentally strong enough to hold the mantle of Man United. And then they will also go. And then when they go, we have a new set of players. We'll have a new manager. We'll have a little bit of hope. And then it will just all come crashing down again. We are Man United graveyard club. That's what we are. We're a flipping graveyard. You don't sink any hope or faith into this club because they'll just snatch it away from you. Everything. Hey, listen, people were joking and saying, oh, why does the kit launch matter? Why do people upset? I'm telling you from now, ever since that damn kit launch, things have gone to pot. So I think it's that as well. A little bit of judge as well. But no, on a serious, honestly, what is there to do? What is there to say no more? We can analyze the game, but it doesn't matter. We can analyze Ten Hag and say we want him gone. It doesn't matter. And we can talk about the Glazers, but it won't matter because they're stupid. So yeah.
But this is true though. And look, I've mentioned bits of the game in my rant, and I'm sure there'll be people out there on their own channels, on Twitter, in Spaces, that will be breaking things down to granular level and saying if we improve these things. I'm just honestly, because I don't just feel like this is 2 games we've lost on the bounce. This feels like there's a problem at the club. The head's going down, not getting back into shape when out of possession. I've seen this film before. I've seen it before. And all we ain't doing recalls or anything like that. We just keep doing remakes, but we all know the outcome. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a remake after a remake. It's like every James Bond film, same ending. Do you know what I'm saying? Every American Pie film, same ending. I just feel like I'm watching the same movie again and again. So it is hard. And I know fans just want us to say, your players are shit, your manager's shit. I get that. And that's what you want to hear us say.
It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years. Sunshine.
Thing for 10 years.
How you feeling, mate? What's going through your head right now?
I'll be honest. I'm just stuck on the prediction that I made, Terry, man. I told us... I said the main issue was putting the ball in the back of the blood clot net, man. I told man this, but no one wanted to hear it. No one wanted to have that conversation. Like last season, this is common. You don't have to be tactical. You don't have to analyze. This is common sense. Just this is common sense. We had one of the best, if not the best, defensive teams in Europe last season. Statistically proven, even with mistakes. We don't have the budget to go and, do a Man City and replace every single position. So it comes back to my point again. We prioritized in the wrong areas and it's made us go 3 steps forward, but 5 steps back. I said this. We're not clinical enough. The stats, I literally told you lot. I said we will create more goals, more chances this season, but we will concede more. And the main issue is what? If you're going to concede more, you need to win games by 3 or 4 goals. But we ain't got clinical finishers. So really and truly, you're saying we can create more, which is what's happening, but we ain't going to put the ball in the back of the net. So what's the point? And this is, again, I'll come back to it. Staffy, hold your ears. He's gone off wicked perfect. Comes back to it. We should not have prioritized Onana first. Why? Because David De Gea, last season, allowed us to stay in games a lot longer over a bigger period of time. That third goal that went in, my man had Popperdam hands. I'm sorry, he had Popperdam hands. And those qualities, those small specific qualities were ignored last season because it wasn't popular. We need someone who can still give us the opportunity to stay in games. Because if we're not clinical up front, we're going to have to keep the ball at the back of the net. So specifically, yes, did we need Onana? Yes, I told you about this. Did we need Mount? Of course you do, because you need them for the system. But we've taken too big of a leap forward, in my opinion, from a progressive standpoint, which is now having cons. Everyone just saw the pros of having certain profiles coming in. Oh, yes, we'll play better now. We'll do this. But no one wants to speak about the cons other than myself and maybe 5 other people I spoke to that we know of on socials. Now we're getting to the stage where people are losing their head. They're going, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'll tell you what's happening. We've changed the profiles in certain areas, big positions. Now we're playing completely, I won't say completely different, that's a bit extreme. We're playing slightly different now in terms of what we do with the ball on the pitch. We're not consistent at doing that. So we've gone away from what we slightly did last season, which in my opinion, this is where I say we should have prioritized getting more clinical forwards first and then see what we can do elsewhere. The reason I say that is simple. Because if you can maintain your defense with last season, even with mistakes, Manchester United, this applies to every football fan, every team. If you win a game, that you sleep good knowing that you won, even if your performance wasn't up there. But in order to win games, you've got to go put the ball in the back of the net. So I don't mind making mistakes every now and then in certain players if we go and get the win. But we ain't clinical enough. And we saw that again today. And I made this prediction last season.
Yeah.
Like this is facts.
Neji, I'm going to be honest.
It's common sense.
Neji, I'm going to be honest. It don't matter what priority we had. It don't matter what order we do things.
No, it does, KJ.
No. Bro, it's been 10 years. We could have signed Harry Kane and flipping Osimhen.
Listen.
Would still have the same issues. Performances will still
KJ,
be low.
You're missing the point, bro.
I understand where you're coming from, bro. I understand where you're coming from. Your points are valid. I'm not saying what you're saying is complete foolishness because they were solid points. But this is not a priority. We should have bought this player, that player.
No, KJ, let me tell you why you're wrong, bro. I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
It's just Man United.
Bro, I'm not doing this wishy-washy shit, bro. Because if I can sit there, wishy-washy shit, bro. If I can sit there and make certain predictions so accurate that it's fucking happening now, and I'm sitting there going,
we've made predictions, fam. We're making predictions and it's happening.
No, but listen, some people make predictions off flippancy, off arrogance, off lack of intellect, just out of jokes. I've been so specific because I've been so balanced with the pros and cons of the situation. Manchester United have not been able to prioritize in the right order because we don't financially have the stability to do so. So although I understand there are many issues, if you're smart, you will know, Terry used to be an accountant, so he will get it. If you're smart with your budgeting, then you look to create less risk. We've taken too many risks.
Can I just say, do you know what? I understand where you're coming from because I agree with what you're saying on the pitch. So many times last season and so far this year, if we had more clinical players up front, we could have won these games. If we finished our dinner today, we could have won this match. It would have been a different football game. I understand that. But I do still have... This is, again, though, where I will look at Ten Hag and say, he did spend £65 million on Mason Mount. He did spend £40 million on Onana, as an example. He did drop £64 million on Højlund. Again, I think taking off Højlund was a horrendous mistake today. Maybe it's because he hasn't had much game time and in the moment of all this, but I think it was all wrong. So if he'd have taken that money and gone and bought Harry Kane, things could have been different. However, where you're right is if we'd have bought Harry Kane with the money that would have cost, there would have been barely any other signings, and you still have holes in your team, and people would complain. We never get a job done. Where I agree with you, and this is what I think is right as a macro view, is that Man United have not completed a rebuild for any new process in 10 years. We get halfway through, and then the Glazers start it all over again because things start to fall apart because we don't move quick enough. That element I completely agree with. Again, rivals hate hearing that because it doesn't suit the narrative, but there's things to blame the manager for. There's things to blame players for. There's things to blame the owners for. There is no doubt about it because we're in the same situation again with another new manager.